Hello and welcome friends to episode 16 of my program Interesting Facts and Quotes. So here we go. दोस्तों, Google सब जानता है. Google knows everything about everyone through their search history. Friends, if Google were to enter the business of private detectives or open a marriage bureau, they probably would be the best among the trade. As Google knows everything about everyone, and through Google, one can say even Uncle Sam, that is the US, knows everything about everyone. 2. A committee of senior statisticians has said that verifying 475 randomly selected EVMs from a total of 10.35 lakh EVMs achieves a confidence level of 99.99%, raising sample size further yielded only negligible gains in confidence level. This would also roughly translate to 1 EVM per Lok Sabha seat. Election Commission says that VVPAT slip count from 1500 polling stations in elections since March 2017 have matched completely with the corresponding EVMs. 3. In 1939, Savarkar wrote the foreword of a book by a Nazi sympathizer and European-born Hindu revivalist who called herself, or you could say she wrote under the pseudonym of Savitri Devi Mukherjee. Friends, Savitri Devi Mukherjee lived between 1905 to 1982 and her real name was Magzi Miani Potters. She was a mix of Greek, French and English parentage. She was a remarkable figure who, among other idiosyncratic beliefs, considered Adolf Hitler, of all the people, Adolf Hitler, an avatar of Vishnu. Her book, prophetically titled A Warning to Be Hindus, is a passionate polemic about the need for Hindu assertion. A prominent proponent of deep ecology and Nazism, who served the Axis cause during World War II by spying on Allied forces. 4. The origin of the word Juggernaut comes from the Hindu god word Jagannath. The word is derived from the Sanskrit Uriya Jagannatha, meaning world lord, which is one of the names of Lord Krishna found in the Sanskrit epics, where Jagat means world combining with Natha meaning lord. By the 18th century, Juggernaut was in common use as a synonym for an irresistible and destructive force that demanded total devotion or unforgiving sacrifice, the sense in which it pops up in novels of Charlotte Bronte and Charles Dickens and even Robert Louis Stevenson, who applied it to Dr. Jekyll's foil, Mr. Hyde. It was only when Mark Twain, in his autobiography, who described Juggernaut as the kindest of gods. So, friends, the word Juggernaut is derived out of Lord Krishna's name, Jagannath. 5. The concept of GDP was invented in 1937 by US economist Simon Kuznets, who was later awarded the Nobel Prize for Economics in 1971. In 1944, following the Bretton Woods Conference that established the World Bank and the International Monetary Fund, GDP became the standard tool for sizing up the country's economy. 6. India is now the largest market for YouTube with over 265 million, or you could say 26 crore monthly active users for the video sharing website. Last week, that is point 7 now. Last week, 5 South Korean celebrities became the world's first 5G subscribers. The service since then has been opened to regular subscribers as well. Simultaneously, the US also saw a limited commercial launch of 5G networks. The intensity with which telecoms in the two countries are claiming they did first underscores the stakes in this battle for supremacy and how competitive it's going to be. 8. 2G opened up mobile telephony mainstream. 3G opened up the app economy and social platforms. 4G defined businesses from banking to entertainment and transportation. 5G equals super fast communication that backers say will transform life as we know it. Its speed, responsiveness, and reach could indeed revolutionize agriculture, utilities, law and order, healthcare, manufacturing, artificial intelligence, and virtual reality. 9. Whereas South Korea and the US have launched 5G and China is in a great state of readiness, India, on the other hand, is yet to allocate spectrum for 5G trials. There is no doubt that rolling out this technology is seriously capital intensive. 10. During the 2014 campaign, Narendra Modi crisscrossed 3 lakh kilometers to address hundreds of rallies in person. 5 years later, his energy is still undiminished with 150 rallies already planned and more in the works. He is poised to convert the election into a presidential style contest once again. 11. Deteriorating quality of education in public institutions poses a serious threat to the Indian youth of today and tomorrow, as it directly affects about 65 to 70% of the students, those who use public funded institutions. 12. Mumbai is one of the hottest stock markets of the world with a gain of nearly 30%. 13. To go off the rails means to start behaving in a manner that is not generally acceptable, especially being dishonest or illegal. 14. Tail wagging the dog means a situation where a small part controls a big part. 15. Magna Carta is a document ensuring guarantee of basic rights. 16. Research shows that over a third of the US population is single. In India too, the demographic has been rising. They now number 74 million or about 7 crore and comprise 12% of the female population. 17. The Commonwealth is by no means a perfect institution. It is a legacy of the days when London was the center of the world and Great Britain was the mother country. 18. From a peak of 90,000, I'm sorry, please hear it again. From a peak of 90,800 square kilometer under its control in 2015, IS, Islamic State, is down to ruling over a mere 3% of Iraq and 5% of Syria today. 19. More than 80% of Google's revenue comes just from its ad business. In the last quarter, the company earned $32.6 billion from ads and just $6.6 billion from other sources. 20. A strategic industry should be defined on the basis of its multiplier effect on employment. 21. India has fought 3 and 2 half wars against Pakistan and 1 against China in the past 70 years. The halves are the limited Kargil war and the longer Pakistan covert war that continues. 2 of them in 1965 and 1971 lasted less than a month. The Kargil war went on for 3 months in a very small, unpopulated part of the country. The first Kashmir war began in October 1947 and ended a year and more later on December 31, 1948. The Sino-Indian War of 1962 too was a month-long affair. Acutely aware of their own vulnerability, India and Pakistan have generally avoided the deliberate targeting of economic and civilian areas during their wars. But with times to come, this becomes a suspect. 22. A recent unofficial count found more than 600 lions in the area, up from 523 in a 2015 census. In Gujarat, Gujarat's Chief Minister Vijay Rupani said, "Our efforts for lion conservation with support of local people have yielded good results. The number of lions now in Gujarat has reached the mark of 600. 23. More than 2,500 years ago, Confucius said that those who govern should do so through merit and virtue, not inherited status. From the 10th century to 1905, Chinese officials were selected primarily through competitive exams and promoted through rigorous performance assessments. 24. When a sector with GDP less than 15% supports a population 3 times its size, we have a convergence of rural and urban hopes, which is jobs. You cannot lift rural incomes without absorbing at least 2/3 of those dependent on the farm in non-farm or urban jobs. 25. China's staunch opposition has ensured that Taiwan remains the only major country in the world to be outside the UN. So China can be really vicious. And now some interesting quotes and lines. Crime does not pay as well as politics, says Alfred Newman, a US composer. 2. The ability to look without motive is missing in the world today, says Sadhguru Jaggi Vasudev. I noticed people coming out of restaurants always had more joyful faces than those coming out of temples, by Anonymous. I knew nothing about anything. That means I ended up paying enormous attention to everything. The lines are again by Anonymous, and I'm not very sure, although. 5. When someone spoke, I saw they were only making sounds and I was making up the meaning by Anonymous again. 6. Sophocles, one of the 3 ancient Greek tragedians, said he would prefer even to fail with honor than win by cheating. 7. There can be a world of difference between knowing ethics and practicing ethics. Again by Anonymous. 8. In business, you don't get what you deserve, you get what you negotiate, says Chester Karras, US author. So friends, that's all I have for today. If you've liked my show, kindly share it. Also press the like icon. Also subscribe our channel by pressing the red icon, and do it right now. And don't forget to press the bell so that you're notified each time we upload a video. And for now, goodbye and see you soon.